All right, okay, I'm live. Ta-da. Happy Easter. Happy Good Friday. So I'm warning you that there are kids in the background. My wife's cooking a roast dinner. We're having pork, sausages, and chicken. So a nice healthy roast dinner, but my wife puts a lot of effort into it. It's a big meal. We have guests, and so I'm going to try and do some of this live as much as I can. Even though there's noise in the background. Okay, guys? So I've been trying to tie everything together with Amy. I'm trying to understand what went on with so obviously let's just sort of now the way things used to be with the trusts of Lisa Marie changed. So you had Priscilla was in a very strong position to do with the trust, to do with Lisa Marie and her inheritance. Everything changed once Lisa Marie passed. Everything changed. Suddenly Priscilla was facing a situation where really she was going to lose power. Yeah? Her income was going to drastically reduce. Can you get in, please? Her income was going to be drastically reduced. Yeah. So I think when Lisa Marie died, from the point of view of, well, that tea is hot, yeah. I think from the point of view of Priscilla, not as a parent, as a businesswoman that had had power for 40 years, everything, what's that tea is hot? Everything changed. Yeah. So now we have to bring into this mix a friendship has grown between Brigitte and Priscilla. They're doing business together. They're auctioning items together. Yeah. So they're just buddies. I don't think Brigitte ever thought that she would one day be Priscilla's manager, personal manager. Yeah. I don't think she ever thought that would happen. But for for unforeseeable circumstances, eventually Priscilla had got herself in a position where she felt like she was losing her grasp, obviously less money, and unfortunately, in my opinion, for entertainment purposes, when poor Lisa Marie very surprisingly passed away, yeah, we all know the circumstances. This is just my opinion, instead of Priscilla, how can I say this? I want to say this tastefully because she's lost her daughter. Instead of Priscilla's focus being on, oh my God, I've lost my daughter, the grandkids, all that. Yeah. The focus was on power and money. Now, some people might think I'm being a bit harsh saying, but I'm going by the actions that have been explained to me of Brigitte Kruse, of Priscilla, concerning the trusts and other things. So it's pretty scary what I've learnt. I'm going to play the video I did today. Was just a short video to give a little description, to give us a feel of what Brigitte and Priscilla were up to after weeks after poor Lisa had passed. Yeah, concerning power, concerning money, concerning the trust. I think some very devious, cunning. I don't think this is just alleged. I would also say almost criminal, alleged, just for entertainment purposes. This is an entertainment show. It's all just opinions, not facts. I would say almost criminal what was going on. There was maneuvering happening where Brigitte is now the manager of Priscilla. Brigitte is trying to help Priscilla navigate her way through the business world. She gets involved with the Priscilla film, Sofia Coppola's Priscilla film. She gets involved with the trust. She gets in when Priscilla goes against Lisa Marie's wishes, the amendments to the trust, Brigitte gets involved in that and is acting on behalf of Priscilla, and that includes negotiating a deal, a resolution. No, definitely not the ball. A resolution, and in my opinion, some pretty dastardly stuff was going on, all about allegedly preventing Riley from being the owner, the main trust executor of the trust. So obviously it goes to Riley. Lisa wanted everything to go to the kids. So Riley, Finley, and Harper. Obviously, Finley and Harper are underage, so it wasn't straightforward. So it would have gone to Riley. It could have gone to Benjamin, but he had passed. So it's very clear. Priscilla wanted her stuff to go to her kids and nothing to go to her mum. Lisa wanted everything to go to the kids. So I get the names mixed up. Lisa wanted everything to go to her kids and nothing to go to the mum. She wanted her mum removed from the trust. Yeah, completely makes sense. Everything, Pat, I have to say everything we're talking about is alleged and for entertainment purposes and not facts. Yeah, we're just a YouTube channel. We're just a show airing our views. So I can't cross the line. So what I'm going to do. All right, I've got a couple of new names here. Right, remember we are defending Elvis Presley. So everything we do here is aimed at defending Elvis. Jade, it makes me sick. All of the Priscilla fans on there are so happy for her. But now we actually because of Amy Collett, our researcher, we've got some proof that Priscilla had started trying to there was some kind of thing asked by the lawyers with her being removed from the trust. Now I don't know, I think Amy has said to me, if I've got it right, that it was Lisa wanted her mother Priscilla removed and this was happening. Yeah, the lawyers were dealing with it. So what the worrying thing is, when this was happening, it was before Lisa died. Yeah. So before Lisa died, less than a year, I think. I'll give you the dates in a minute. Priscilla had asked lawyers, and Brigitte Kruse was representing Priscilla. Priscilla had asked lawyers to remove her as the trustee of everything, really, innit? Yeah. And this was at hand. This was being dealt with. Yeah. So Brigitte clearly is involved with this process. She's also clearly involved with negotiating a deal with the Priscilla film, Brigitte Kruse's. And the other thing, allegedly for entertainment purposes, not a fact, just an opinion. And then the other thing is Brigitte obviously was negotiating once the threat of a lawsuit faded away. It's pretty obvious that Brigitte helped negotiate the deal with Riley. So, the $1 million that was given to Priscilla, the $400,000 legal fees, the $100,000 a year, and then obviously a possible place in the crematorium, in the meditation garden for Priscilla. So Brigitte was heavily involved. Now we have always said that even though Brigitte had joined us and a few other YouTube channels trying to get support from us as Elvis fans on these YouTube channels, I've always said that, okay, we want her to win her lawsuit against Priscilla, but we're unsure of the goings on with auction items. I've always said with the auction items, we don't know what happened. I'm going one step further now. Now, my worry with Brigitte is that before Brigitte and Priscilla fell out and the lawsuits happened, yeah, that Brigitte had been heavily involved in helping Priscilla against Lisa's wishes, against Riley's wishes. This is the problem we've got. Brigitte wants us to believe that she wants our sympathy. what she's going through with the lawsuit. It's scary. What she's going through with Priscilla and the lawsuit is scary because Priscilla is very experienced in lawsuits. But the truth is, we as Elvis fans were basically saying, okay, we understand you've got this lawsuit, you've got the counter suit, which is elder abuse. Yeah. So that's being fought out. Obviously, we now know that Elvis Presley Enterprises has also got a problem with Brigitte Kruse and her auction company and her associates. Priscilla has a problem with Brigitte Kruse auction associates as well. Yeah. But this is my point, guys, that Brigitte has been helped until they fell out, until Brigitte and Priscilla fell out. We are very worried as fans that there was a lot of wrongdoing by Priscilla with the help of Brigitte acting as her attorney, in fact, which means she's not an actual attorney, but she's been given power of attorney, which allows her to act and make certain decisions as an attorney. Yeah. So basically, when Brigitte was speaking to the lawyers, she was speaking on behalf of Priscilla. She was negotiating stuff for Priscilla against Riley, against Lisa. Get it, guys? So we are very worried and unsure what has gone on between Brigitte and Priscilla against Lisa, against Riley, and the twins. The twins are in this as well, aren't they? Yeah. Right. So I'm going to play this video. It gives you a bit more of an understanding. And then what I'm going to then do is I'm going to play some of Amy Collett's voice notes, me and her chatting, because she explains it much better than I do. I find it all a bit confusing. So I'm going to also try and show you the documents that show Brigitte is named as an attorney in fact. It's called attorney in fact, and we're going to show the letter from the lawyer, yeah, that describes things in detail as well. Okay. Look, we're right. We were right to be worried about Brigitte. We are right to be worried about her. Yeah. Even the other YouTube channel that has aligned herself with Brigitte, and we did try and warn her months and months ago. This is a dodgy circumstance, isn't it? The fact is that Brigitte had asked the other YouTube channel to request questions sent to an email, and that Brigitte would then do a YouTube channel and answer these questions. Now, many of you here did send questions to the email address from the YouTube channel, yeah, and with the promise of these questions being answered on a YouTube channel. Brigitte Kruse answering these questions. It never happened, did it? We sent the questions. There was never answers. The YouTube channel was never done. Yeah. So the promise from the YouTube channel that if the questions were asked and sent to an email address, they would be answered in a YouTube channel. It never happened. It hasn't come to fruition. If anything, Brigitte Kruse has gone completely quiet. So if Brigitte Kruse watches my show, please, why have the questions not been answered? Where is the YouTube channel that was going to answer these questions? That is my question to Brigitte Kruse. Okay. Now, the other thing is Amy Collett has been helping me. She is, how can I say it? A researcher. So she's been helping me. She gets these documents. She understands the law. She understands the trusts, the wills, all the ins and outs, all the documentation. And she has looked this up, and she has found documents that prove that at some point Priscilla had asked the lawyers to remove her as trustee before Lisa died. Remember, this is crucial. Before Lisa died. Remember that when Priscilla contested the amendments to the trust, she contested them after Lisa died. So Priscilla was sort of saying, I'm still a trustee. There's been a false signature. It hasn't been initialed and other things. Priscilla was acting like she was still trustee, when secretly Priscilla had already asked a lawyer to remove her as trustee before she died, before Lisa died. This is worrying. This is worrying, guys. So let me play the video and we'll go from there, okay? Hi guys, I'm trying to work out what has gone on with Brigitte Kruse and Priscilla Presley before they fell out over the lawsuit. We know that Brigitte Kruse is a very famous auctioneer, but she also acted as Priscilla's manager with power of attorney, making very important decisions on behalf of Priscilla. What really went on after poor Lisa Marie passed away?
So as far as these documents, so we know that Priscilla sued Riley and the twins because she said that the amendment that Lisa made was fraudulent, not her signature, blah, 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 blah. Well, who filed that lawsuit for her? Brigitte, acting as her attorney in fact, which is different than a regular attorney, but they can still file paperwork for you and such. So a lot of things go back and forth. It is important to know that Priscilla didn't want to be like a co-trustee with Riley. No. She wanted it to revert back to the trust of 2010. Who were the trustees? Oh my goodness, I'm glad you asked. Barry Siegel and Priscilla, so leaving Riley completely out. So it's not just that Priscilla wanted to remain a trustee. Oh no, she wanted Riley out of it. So in one of Brigitte Kruse's filings, they're back and forth for the Florida case. So all these documents that I find, well, not all of them, but in this particular case, can be found on myorangeClerk.com, I believe. So in some of her submittance, Brigitte Kruse submits this email where it clearly says, I think she's trying to prove that Priscilla's attorney is dropping her, basically, but not realizing what she's revealing in this email. And what she's revealing in this email is that Priscilla is already in the process of being removed off of Lisa's trust. Lisa's already removing her before she passes away in December of 2022. So Priscilla knew she was being removed off of the trust. So what does she do after her daughter passes? She sues. She lies. She says she didn't know again. And who helps her do that? Your good friend Brigitte, who wants to make a YouTube and answer questions and tell the truth. Yeah.
Okay, so that's Amy Collett, yeah? So that gives you a basic feel of what's happening, yeah? But Frederick mentions something about Brigitte and Priscilla and and settling their lawsuit, yeah? But no, this isn't about the law. This show has nothing to do with the lawsuit between Brigitte and Priscilla. Was there wrongdoing to Lisa Marie, to Riley, to the twins at the hands of Brigitte and Priscilla before they fell out? Yeah? So remember, poor Lisa Marie dies. You would automatically expect everything to go to the kids, to the grandkids, Riley, Finley, Harper. But that's not what happened. Priscilla, within weeks, contested the amendments to the trust with the help of Brigitte. This is the wrongdoing. Remember, this is the new information that we've got. Remember, Priscilla said that she basically said that the amendments were incorrect, that there's a possibility of fraud, that it wasn't done, the due process wasn't carried out, like the signature, the initialing, what was the other thing they said? Priscilla basically tried to make out as if the amendment, I think was done in 2016, was not legal, didn't follow the process. But what she didn't tell us was that she had already asked, or she had already been told or asked to remove herself as trustee by Lisa. We've proved it with a legal letter, and we're gonna read that letter. Yeah. So this is what this is about. This isn't about the lawsuit between Priscilla and Brigitte. This is about what wrongdoing happened with Brigitte and Priscilla against Lisa, against Riley, Finley, and Harper. because we are asked by this other YouTube channel to trust Brigitte Kruse, to support her, to answer her questions. Now, we're Elvis fans. We're here for Elvis. We're here for Lisa. Yeah. So Brigitte Kruse wants us to trust her. How can we trust her knowing that behind the scenes, before Priscilla and Brigitte fell out, there was wrongdoing? Yeah. That Priscilla possibly, allegedly, had lied and was not on, had already tried to come off the trust, but was acting as if she was still in the trust. Priscilla knew that Lisa wanted her off the trust. Priscilla tried to act as if she never knew about it. It's the first she'd ever heard of it. This is the problem. So Lisa is called almost in some ways called a liar. But the truth is, Priscilla knew that Lisa wanted her off the trust. It wasn't an unknown thing that was... She only found out because her daughter died. Priscilla didn't only find out because her daughter died, Lisa. She already knew, because around 6 months before Lisa died, we've got proof in a letter that Priscilla was removing herself as trustee. Yeah? You get it, guys? So she's lied. The reason she's lied is because it's a negotiating tool with Riley to get more money, but not just that. This is the main point that Amy is saying. Amy Collett is saying this, that Priscilla wanted everything to be thrown out and the trust to be reverted to the 2010 trust. The 2010 trust completely removes Riley as an executor, completely removes her. So what Amy is saying is that Priscilla, this is the key thing here, guys. What Amy is saying, Amy Collett, our researcher, not I'm saying, it's Amy saying, yeah, that Priscilla was trying to revert things to the 2010 trust that completely removed Lisa's children. So in theory, Lisa's children were never going to become the owners of Greystan. This is what Amy's saying. Yeah. Now, Amy, if you watch this, if I'm getting it wrong, please tell me. Please tell me. Yeah. So remember, this is Amy's research. Yeah. Not mine. I'm just repeating Amy's research. Hi, Chicky Blue. Right. Let's just quickly check a few of your comments. Now, it was on Sean and Ron has also covered this, saying Priscilla knew. Yeah, I think Amy did tell me that Rhonda did cover this a while ago, but it was forgotten. Yeah, this has been sort of, I think this is really important. I think this is one of the most important things we've ever been told about Priscilla, that there's some serious wrongdoing against her own daughter, Lisa, and Riley and Finn and Harper. Yeah. And it's all about gaining power, gaining money, gaining control, and taking it away from the grandkids. Now, this is all alleged, just opinions. We're just an entertainment show. But this is serious, guys. This is serious. Right. So, obviously, Brigitte Kruse is welcome to join our show and explain it to us. Brigitte Kruse, if you're watching now, you're welcome to join our show and explain it to us. But this is serious. Remember, we've got another YouTube channel aligning herself with Brigitte Kruse, telling us to trust Brigitte Kruse. And we did warn that YouTube channel and said, look, be careful, because you don't know what went on before Priscilla and Brigitte fell out. Yeah? And I'm still saying this to her now. Be careful. You don't know what went on. Yeah? Well, let me get these... So let me get this up, guys. Now, this isn't straightforward for me, because I find all of this a bit confusing. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you the letter. Yeah. Remember, Amy Collett has found this letter. Okay. Let's have a look. Let's get the letter up. Right, I'm going to read it. So, guys, this is the letter. Okay. In a minute we'll show that Brigitte Kruse's name is on there, yeah, as well. So let me just check who's here. So thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Priscilla told Lisa to get off the chair in the office. Yep. Right. Once Lisa became of age, why the hell is Priscilla even in the picture any longer? Elvis. Well, Dan, I don't really think Priscilla is in the picture. I think once the deal was done with the $1 million and $100,000 a year, and they paid her legal fees, really, Priscilla was outside the box. I actually think Riley did quite a good deal with Priscilla. I think she did well to get rid of her for $1 million. Yeah. She's completely out of it now. She has no rights or control anything, does she? Yeah. Tell me if I'm wrong, guys. Right. So let me read this letter. So this letter covers a few things. This is Amy sent me this. Okay. I understand that some issues have arisen. This is from a lawyer that is acting on behalf of Priscilla. Okay. This letter is basically saying I won't represent you anymore. Right. So I understand that some issues have arisen involving Brigitte making negative remarks to one or more of Barry's clients. They're talking about Barry Siegel. So this is the other thing Amy was saying to me, that that Priscilla was trying to pull power in so that Barry Siegel, who was Lisa's manager, Barry Siegel ripped Lisa Marie off for the tune of possibly over 40-50 million, ripped her off, investing in stupid investments like American Idol. So, if I'm wrong about any of my facts, please let me know. Everything is alleged, right? So listen to this. Now remember, Barry Siegel and Lisa really fell out. Lisa sued Barry Siegel. There was a lawsuit against Barry Siegel. Barry Siegel stepped away as trustee. So let me read this. While I do not represent Brigitte, and there is no actual conflict at this time between you and Barry, because Brigitte is your manager, this is close enough as to make me uncomfortable representing you both. This being the case, I must regretfully advise you that I cannot represent you going forward. So obviously, this letter to me was written, I think you'll see the date in a minute. I think it was 2022. I do not believe I'm handling any active matters for you, although we discussed the possibility of asking for revisions to the Elvis and me agreement with Sofia Coppola. So straight away, you know that Priscilla is negotiating with Sofia Coppola for the making of the film Priscilla. So Priscilla was a big part of making of that film, the Priscilla film, that we know Lisa Marie did not want made. We know about the emails sent to Sofia Coppola that Lisa 100% was against that film. There's even a possibility that Lisa was considering legal action against her own mother to prevent this film. Yeah? This film is a trash film, should never have been made. Lisa 100% did not want this film made, but Priscilla still went ahead and made it anyway, even, under the horrible circumstances that her daughter passes. Priscilla still goes on to promote this film. Yeah, I think she's a co-producer as well. But anyway, so let's keep going. This hasn't proceeded, and it currently stands that the deal has been closed approximately May 2022. Should you decide to seek a revision to that agreement, I would not be able to handle that. So he's pulling out. Now, this is the important bit, guys. The other matter I was handling for you was your resignation as trustee from Lisa's irrevocable trust dated October the 6th, 1993. However, at your request, I handed the matter over to another attorney. So we know, we're not 100% the reason, but we know, let's read it again. The handling, this is before Lisa died. This is crucial. Before Lisa died. We know that Priscilla knew that, let's word it differently. We know that Priscilla was trying to resign as a trustee on Lisa's irrevocable trust on October the 6th. No, sorry. So this letter is dated May 2022. So we know that before Lisa died, Priscilla was trying to resign from the trust. So that means when, tell me if I'm getting this wrong, guys. If Amy's here, she can explain it. She's not here. That means that when Priscilla tried to go against the amendments, of that Lisa had made, I think she made them in 2016, that Priscilla knew she had tried to resign from the trust. Now, I don't know all the details, so we're going to play some of Amy Collett's voicemails and see if we can understand them. So please let me know if you're aware of any other matters that you believe are active. Priscilla, I'm really sorry to have to take this step. I have endless respect for you and admiration, and it's been great working with you. Now, you guys will see that differently maybe, but that's how I see it, okay? So let me just show you the named document. So I'm going to see if I can make this bigger. I don't know if it's going to let me. I'm trying to make it bigger, but it's very clear. If I find the right one, let me go back again. There's one document that clearly shows the name. Okay, where is it? Here we go. Here we go. So if you look on this, guys, now I've tried to make it bigger, but it won't let me. Let's see if there's any icon that allows me to. But it clearly says attorney for petitioner Priscilla Presley in the care of Brigitte Kruse, attorney in fact. It clearly says Brigitte Kruse 100% was acting as attorney in fact. Basically, she had power of attorney on behalf of Priscilla. Yeah, so we know that Brigitte was helping Priscilla before they fell out. That includes with negotiating with her spot in the meditation garden, with the Priscilla film, Sophia Coppola, with the money that eventually was agreed. But also before that, when Priscilla was arguing that the amendments to the trust were fake, were fraud. Remember what Priscilla was trying to do, allegedly. She was trying to get the trust taken back to 2010, where that removes Riley as a trustee and would have made Barry Siegel and Priscilla the trustees. Okay, alleged, just opinions. I can't prove any of it. Okay, so if I'm right or wrong, put it in the comments. Yeah. Right, let's just read a couple of your comments. Riley was 21 in 2010. She had no fiduciary role yet at the age. She was a beneficiary in the event Lisa died. So, let's have a look.
This is no show. Hi. Hi. Wait, you guys know each other?
Yeah, Riley in 2010 was out of the picture once. Now, remember, I'm no expert on this. I'm passing on information from Amy Collett. Yeah, I'm just a fan at home talking to you guys on my YouTube channel. I am not an expert. I get my facts wrong. Frederick is much more in the know of all the judicial stuff and all of the contracts and all the different things with the trusts, etc. Fred knows a lot more than I do. So any information that Fred's got is great. So in 2016, Lisa decided to remove Barry and Priscilla as trustees and replace them with Riley and Ben. Yeah, but remember there was a reason for that. Yeah, Barry had ripped Lisa off. Yeah, so there was more to it. Now, Lisa was blamed for a lot of stuff, but the truth is, Priscilla had, with Barry, allegedly, they had wasted an absolute fortune on investments, but not just that. Priscilla allegedly was taking $900,000 a year wages. Barry was taking $500,000 a year wages. So Lisa literally almost went bust. Some say that's the reason she moved to England. I don't know. What do you think, guys? What does Frederick think? So there's a lot of wrongdoing here that's happening behind Lisa Marie's back concerning Barry Siegel, Priscilla, and eventually Brigitte Kruse. Yeah? So it's pretty complicated stuff, guys. It's hard to understand. So, Cassie, Priscilla wanted to retain her role as trustee and invalidate Lisa's 2016 trust amendment. Under that circumstances, Riley would become co-trustee alongside Priscilla. Okay, that makes sense. Frederick, great comment. Thank you. Right, so I'm going to play Amy's comments. So Cassie says, it just makes sense that she would try to remove herself in 2022, then fight the will in 2023 to remain as co-trustee. Cassie, you seem to know what you're talking about, yeah? Well, so it's interesting, isn't it, guys? We're trying to get through all the fog and try and see the light, yeah? So let me just go on to Amy's. It's a shame. I wish Amy was here, but she's probably at work. Right, so what we're going to do now, guys, I haven't got that much longer. I'm going to try and play Amy's voicemails. Now, remember, this is just me and Amy chatting, yeah? So some of it is just me and her chatting. So try and see past that and just listen to what Amy says. And the reason I ask you to listen to Amy is because I find it confusing, guys, yeah? So let's have a look. Okay, let me just... Right, so Amy, I think that shall I listen to this one? Amy's trying to explain it to me, okay, guys?
Sorry, my alarm went off. The 2010 restatement further provides that petitioner and Barry Siegel shall continue to serve as co-trustees upon Lisa Marie Presley's subsequent incapacity and or death. On February 8th, 2010, Barry and petitioner executed an acceptance and acknowledgement by trustees to serve as co-trustees of the 2010 restated trust. Petitioner, who's Priscilla, believes that the 2010 restated trust, hereinafter the trust, under which petitioner has been acting as trustee, is a valid trust. So they talk about Lisa Marie's passing, and then they talk about all these other statements of fact. The petitioner has not resigned. Right, she hasn't. She hasn't resigned, but she was in the process of resigning. 10. Based on the foregoing, petitioner, this is the most important part, contends that the purported 2016 amendment is an invalid modification of the restated 2010 trust, and that the restated 2010 trust is the authoritative and controlling document. As such, petitioner respectfully requests an order from this court determining that the purported 2016 amendment is invalid, confirming the validity and existence of the restated 2010 trust, and confirming that petitioner is a current trustee of said trust. Why is this important? This is not just Priscilla questioning the validity of a document that removes her, right? One, what is there to question if it's left to your granddaughter? Where's the scam? I mean, she says she's doing this to protect her family, or some people have said she's done it to protect the twins from Lockwood. And if it was all left to Riley, what is there to, who cares if it's fake? I mean, I get it. It's legalities. It has to be on point, but you see what I'm saying? So it's not that she wanted to serve as co-trustee with Riley. Oh, no. She wanted it back to her and Siegel. Her and Siegel only, no Riley. Riley would have had no say. So I think it's very important that people understand that, because that gets glossed over too. It's not just that me and Riley would be co-trustees together. No, she wanted her completely off of it.
Right. So, I mean, obviously that goes against what Frederick said. That this is obviously Amy's opinion on her version of, she's reading a document, yeah? Amy's saying that no, Priscilla was really going out of her way to make sure it was just Priscilla, and maybe Barry as well, yeah? That Riley was completely taken off it. Now, I'm not saying that's correct or true. Frederick may have a different take on it, but this is Amy's opinion. Amy Collett, our researcher, okay? I want to read Frederick's comment. So we just have to remember that the trustee and beneficiaries are two different things. Lisa was always the beneficiary, and in the event that Lisa died, then Lisa's kids were the beneficiary. Okay? So, but the trustees were Barry and Priscilla until Lisa booted them out. Okay? Now, remember, we're giving the impression here that, yes, Barry was booted out, but Priscilla may not have been. That process was happening. Is that right? With the lawyers? Yeah. I don't know. Tell me, Frederick, what do you think? So Priscilla was scheming to keep Riley out of the co-trustee. Yeah, this is what, Frederick, this is what Amy is telling us. Amy is saying that she was trying to revert it back to the 2010 agreement. Yeah. And if this is true, guys, this is deadly serious. This really shows Priscilla in a very bad light, but it also shows a very coldness towards her own grandkid, to Riley, to Finley and Harper. If Priscilla wants it all for herself, can't bear the thought of losing control. Yeah, this is serious shit, innit? This is serious shit. It brings a lot of things into question. Yeah. So legally, though, Riley should have been a co-trustee upon Lisa's death if Barry was gone as co-trustee. So, yes, but remember that Priscilla has been trying to resign using a lawyer from the trustee. Yeah, we've just showed it in a letter. So it's messy. I'm just telling you what would have been properly. No, thank Frederick. This is really important. Your advice, your help, very important to us, because we're just Elvis fans. We're not Amy Collett. We're not researchers. We're just Elvis fans gathering facts, discussing it. To be honest with you, I find it bloody confusing. Yeah, it goes over my head a bit. I need to let it absorb and just get used to it. So let's see if we can listen to a couple more of Amy's voicemail. Amy's not here yet, is she? So let's have a look. Riley's name off and foolish Dame. Let's have a look. My understanding, so this is Cassie. My understanding is Barry resigned as co-trustee and Singer replaced him. Thank you. But he had to resign, didn't he? Because wasn't Lisa suing him because he had wasted $50 million on stupid investments like American Idol? Yeah? Tell me, let me know, guys, if I'm learning. Barry didn't leave until after Lisa died, is my understanding. Well, that's not what that's not what I've learned. I've learned that when Lisa found out that an absolute fortune had been badly invested and wasted, and they were taking a massive wage, I think $500,000 Barry, 900,000 Priscilla, that Lisa went crazy and sued Barry Siegel in 2016. Eventually, I think Barry tries to counter sue, but eventually Lisa gets the upper hand and Barry falls away. That's my understanding. Whilst Lisa was alive, and that was the reason Lisa moved to England, because she couldn't trust anyone. Lisa says all the vultures were after her. Tell me, guys, I'm learning. Right, let's have a look. Rhonda has gone live this week, so I think Rhonda's going through a lot. People look. But if we accept the 2016 amendment, Riley obviously should have been the full trustee, and ultimately she prevailed. Right, let me just get that. I understand what you say, Frederick, but no, and I'll tell you why. Because Priscilla, as soon as Lisa dies, contests the amendments. She contests them. She says there's something not right. I don't think Lisa wanted that. I wasn't notified. It wasn't initialed. The signature looked different. You get it? So Priscilla is trying to cancel out the 2016 amendments, yeah? And bring it back to the 2010 agreement. Yeah? So does that make sense, Frederick? You tell me. So I'll just wait for Frederick to comment on that. Let's see if we've got another voicemail, guys. Let's play this one, okay?
I can send you the initial filing that Brigitte did, but I'll just read a little bit. That makes sense, but I will provide a link so that whoever wants to see it, it can they can see it. So it's talking about, that where Lisa resided at the time of her passing away, all the jurisdictions. Article 2, Introduction and Summary of Relief Requested. On January 29th, 1993, Lisa Marie Presley executed a revocable living trust, which she amended and completely restated on January 27th, 2010. Both the 1993 original trust and 2010 restatement appear to be carefully drafted by competent estate planning attorneys. In the 2010 restatement, Lisa Marie Presley appointed her mother, petitioner, which is Priscilla, and her former business manager, Barry Siegel, as co-trustees, effective as of the date of the 2010 restatement. I can send you...
Right. I might play that again because I want to absorb that. I'll read Barry's comment as well. Right, so I just want to read Barry's comment. I'm going to play that again because the ending of it is interesting. So yeah, Barry says, but if we accept, no, I've read that one. She contested, but she lost. That's why they settled. I know that, but what we're trying to show isn't what happened after they settled. Yeah, even though we are talking about the settling because we're not happy with Brigitte Kruse's involvement in the negotiating of the settlement because we feel that Brigitte Kruse was helping Priscilla too much, even helping Priscilla to be buried in the meditation garden, even helping Priscilla to get the amendments cancelled out so it reverts back to 2010 trust. Yeah. So our problem here is what was Bridgette's involvement, but not just that. Look what Priscilla was trying to do to her own grandkids. This is what this is about here. Not about who would have won in court and legally how things would have turned out and that they settled. It's not about the settling. This is about the intention. You've got a mother, Priscilla, who's lost her daughter. So we go into that. We have to take ourselves there. A mother who should be grieving, devastated. But instead, she's pursuing these legal avenues to try and do anything to keep power. If anything, she's trying to undo power for Riley and the twins and revert it back to 2010 and keep it all for herself. Now, how does that make Priscilla look? It really does make her look pretty nasty that she wants it all for herself and she wants Riley and the twins removed. You get it? So there's some serious wrongdoing here from Priscilla with the help of Brigitte. I know Brigitte comes along later, but with the help of Brigitte. So Brigitte has been helping Priscilla with some pretty dastardly things. Okay, we turn back the clock a bit. Priscilla was up to no good much earlier on, but it's shocking. I think it's shocking, guys. I honestly, I think this is absolutely shocking. Yeah. Let's have a look. So, Frederick says she was going to lose in court, but that, to me, that's irrelevant. To me, this is about the wrongdoing of Priscilla, how she treated her own grandkids, what she was prepared to do to her daughter. Yeah? Crazy. It's crazy. I've tried to explain things as I understand it, but it's getting all garbled in here. Maybe I'll write out on Instagram. Okay, thanks, Frederick. Remember, we're just having a discussion. I'm no expert. I'm just a fan. We're just a YouTube channel. Don't take it too seriously, yeah? But, guys, come on. Amy has been very good. She's given us her documents. She's giving us voicemails explaining what she's trying to say. I think Amy Collett has been fantastic. She doesn't have to. Amy doesn't have to help us. She does it because she wants to, because she loves Elvis. She loves Lisa. She loves Riley, Philly, and Harper. Amy is a defender. She's a true defender. She doesn't do it for money. She does it for love. She loves Elvis, Lisa, and the bloodline. Yeah? She has no benefit. I don't give her money. There's no money here. This is just Amy being nice, putting her time in for us so we learn the truth, so the fans can learn the truth. Yeah? So I thank Amy Collett, thank you very much for all this work you've done for us. Yeah? Very appreciated. But this part about Priscilla trying to block out Riley, even as co-trustee, was newly found by Amy. Yeah. I agree. But Amy's a proper researcher. Amy's been doing research with Elvis and Lisa and the Bloodline for decades. For decades. She's not a newbie. She's been doing this for many, many years. She's a proper researcher. Yeah. So it is. I know it is quite new. Amy did tell Rhonda at Presley Mania has covered this. Yeah. This isn't brand new. Yeah. It was spoken about a while ago on Presley Mania. She's told me, and I was like, wow. When Amy told me, I couldn't believe it. And I was like, what? Are you serious? And this is why we're doing this live stream, because I think it needs to be out there. Yeah. They both like Karen. They both should be ashamed of themselves. Absolutely disgusting. It shouldn't really shock us where Priscilla is concerned, but Priscilla can't get any lower. It is shocking. Let's face it. Priscilla wanted it all to call the shots. She wanted to take full control of Graceland. She hates Joel and wanted him out of the picture. I agree, Pat. I agree. I personally think that Priscilla, at some point, around the time Elvis passed away, was trying to take over everything. Honestly, I really do. Around 76, so 76, 77, 78, 79, it's all shocking. 98, it's all shocking. Right, let's see if there's I want to play this comment one more time, guys. I think we said everything we want to say.
That Brigitte did, but I'll just read a little bit that makes sense, but I will provide a link so that whoever wants to see it, they can see it. So it's talking about, where Lisa resided at the time of her passing away, all the jurisdictions. Article 2, Introduction and Summary of Relief Requested.
I'm finishing.
On January 29th, 1993, Lisa Marie Presley executed a revocable living trust, which she amended and completely restated on January 27th, 2010. Both the 1993 original trust and 2010 restatement appear to be carefully drafted by competent estate planning attorneys. In the 2010 restatement, Lisa Marie Presley appointed her mother, petitioner, which is Priscilla, and her former business manager, Barry Siegel, as co-trustees, effective as of the date of the 2010 restatement.
I think that says quite a lot. The ending of that says a lot, guys. Right, let me just read some comments. I've worked on 100 probates, so I have some background knowledge in general, but not about this case. I did expert genealogy report to estate. Frederick, it's very clear that you know what you're talking about. Frederick, I can completely see that you know what you're talking about, and I really appreciate it. I really do appreciate it. Yeah. Sometimes I'm about to testify in court, but I don't enjoy it. Don't take on that anymore. I understand. Yeah, it's stressful. I've had litigation in my life a few times. I know what it's like. You can't sleep. You cannot sleep. When you're in litigation, in lawsuits, you can't sleep. That's the truth. Right, so Linda Chesterton. Amy Collett is a really lovely, genuine lady, and she does research. Her passion for Elvis and Lisa is amazing. I agree. We are very lucky to have her on board. But let me see if I can get a couple more of her comments up. Let's just see, guys. Yeah, we call her Auntie Amy. Auntie Amy. Right, let's just listen to this one.
Yeah, so, Barry Siegel, who was a co-trustee, and says, he testified in the divorce case, Lockwood and Lisa divorce case. I was removed. I was served my paperwork, but then we have Priscilla, for whatever reason, not being removed, right? So Lisa may have caught it. Like I said, I'm not for sure. I don't have the documentation as to why. Because we know Priscilla is not going to remove herself, right? If she was going to fight to stay on it, she wouldn't have removed herself. So Lisa is in the process, as that email says, of removing her. And she passes away. And then Priscilla acts stupid. And when Lisa dies, says, I didn't know. I didn't know I was being removed. And the fact that she didn't want to be a co-trustee with Riley. She wanted it to be her and Siegel. She wanted Riley out of it. So the criminal that helped her steal her money from her child, who Lisa sued, she wanted back on there with her. And Brigitte was helping her do that.
So I'm going to play that again. That is very important. That is very important. I find that shocking. Just the fact that Priscilla acted as if she didn't know that Lisa wanted her off as co-trustee. Yeah, we know that when she went against Lisa's wishes and the amendments, yeah, that she did try and act as if, oh no, I'm the co-trustee. You know, she knew she was off it. She knew Lisa wanted her off it, so she lied. What Amy is saying is there was blatant lying, and the end goal was to have power for her and Barry Siegel. That's what Amy's saying. Let's play it again, guys.
Yeah, so, Barry Siegel, who was a co-trustee, and says, oh, he testified in the divorce case, Lockwood and Lisa divorce case. Yeah, I was removed. I was served my paperwork, but then we have Priscilla, for whatever reason, not being removed, right? So Lisa may have caught it. Like I said, I'm not for sure. I don't have the documentation as to why. Because we know Priscilla is not going to remove herself, right? If she was going to fight to stay on it, she wouldn't have removed herself. So Lisa is in the process, as that email says, of removing her. And she passes away. And then Priscilla acts stupid. And when Lisa dies, says, oh, I didn't know I was being removed. And the fact that she didn't want to be a co-trustee with Riley. She wanted it to be her and Siegel. She wanted Riley out of it. So the criminal that helped her steal her money from her child, who Lisa sued, she wanted back on there with her. And Brigitte was helping her do that.
I think that's clear. Brigitte Kruse was helping Priscilla with all of this, to rip off her own grandkids, to rip off her own daughter, and in some cases, her dead daughter. Yeah? So, guys, it is shocking. All of this is shocking. Of course, this is an entertainment show. It's opinions only. I can't say any of this is fact. We're just a discussion YouTube channel. But I tell you what, guys, that almost brings me to tears. That 1 minute almost brings me to tears. I cannot believe it. It's shocking, guys. It's shocking. Really upsetting. Right, let's go back a bit further. Right, so let's listen to this, guys. Okay.
So as far as these documents, so we know that Priscilla sued Riley and the twins because she said that the amendment that Lisa made was fraudulent, not her signature, blah, 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 blah. Well, who filed that lawsuit for her? Brigitte, acting as her attorney in fact, which is different than a regular attorney, but they can still file paperwork for you and such. So a lot of things go back and forth. It is important to know that Priscilla didn't want to be like a co-trustee with Riley. No. She wanted it to revert back to the trust of 2010. Who were the trustees? Oh my goodness, I'm glad you asked. Barry Siegel and Priscilla, so leaving Riley completely out. So it's not just that Priscilla wanted to remain a trustee. Oh, no. She wanted Riley out of it. So in one of Brigitte Kruse's filings, they're back and forth for the Florida case. So all these documents that I find, well, not all of them, but in this particular case, can be found on myOrangeClerk.com, I believe. So in some of her submittance, Brigitte Kruse submits this email where it clearly says, I think she's trying to prove that Priscilla's attorney is dropping her, basically. But not realizing what she's revealing in this email. And what she's revealing in this email is that Priscilla is already in the process of being removed off of Lisa's trust. Lisa's already removing her before she passes away in December of 2022. So Priscilla knew she was being removed off of the trust. So what does she do after her daughter passes? She sues. She lies. She says she didn't know again. And who helps her do that? Your good friend Brigitte, who wants to make a YouTube and answer questions and tell the truth. Yeah.
So, guys, come on. This is mother, daughter, grandkid. Yeah? this is a manager, Barry Siegel, who was very trusted. Yeah. Can you imagine the hell that Lisa went through leading up to her death with her own mother? And some people try to blame Lisa. So unfair. The mother was seriously up to. This is like Dallas, and it's so extreme. This is just like Dynasty. You know, it's like this is some serious wrongdoing between family, and it's coming from Priscilla with the help of Brigitte. So when Brigitte joins our show, asking her to support us, knowing that she really helped Priscilla with all of this before Lisa died and after she died. It's crazy, guys. It's crazy. So what I'm just going to very quickly play a couple of short videos, if I can get them up, just to remind people what was going on. Let's have a look. I've only got a few minutes left now, Raw. A couple of very short videos, a couple of minutes each, to remind people what went on. Firstly, what was being sued, and then secondly, what was agreed with Riley in the end. And then I got to go, guys.
Priscilla Presley is now disputing the validity of her daughter's will. She was removed as a co-trustee back in 2016 and replaced by Lisa Marie's children. But Priscilla's lawyers now say there are several issues with the document. They say Priscilla's name was misspelled. Lisa Marie's signature doesn't look right. As you know, Lisa Marie is Elvis Presley's only child. She was laid to rest at his Graceland estate earlier this month. Joining us now to talk about this is CNN's chief business correspondent and early start anchor, Christine Romans. Okay, so a living trust is basically this form of a way to control your assets while you're still alive.
Right.
What is it? I mean, what is the dispute here over?
So the issue here is that Priscilla Presley didn't know in 2016 that the trustees had been changed upon the death of Lisa Marie. It wasn't notarized. That's one of the things she's concerned about. She wasn't alerted, and that is required. Ironclad part of this trust is that she must be notified of any changes to this document, and she wasn't. So that's why her lawyers have petitioned the court to see about if this 2016 amendment to her will is actually legal and valid.
Wow. I mean, how long could this take?
But hang on, but guys, remember, yeah, we've got the letter from the lawyer that says she was resigning from the trust. So when you think about that letter and listen to this, she's lying. This is all a scam to try and get power, so she has more money to remove Riley, to remove the twins. Just an opinion, guys.
So I was looking at the Michael Jackson estate. That took 12 years to settle. Michael Jackson was heavily in debt when he died. And it was interesting to me, by the time they settled that whole estate, it was profitable again. It was like 4 times as profitable as it had been. So you've got an estate here that includes a 15% stake in Elvis Presley Enterprises, Graceland, the mansion, which Priscilla at one time has said, Lisa Marie said is absolutely 100% mine. It will always be mine. Graceland, it will always be, and when it is no longer mine, it will be my children's, and that is that. And now we are at the place where her children are named in this will as her trustees now, and her own mother is disputing it. So it's granddaughters and a grandmother together over the future of what is a very complicated fortune.
Right, so then we'll quickly, my last video, guys, we're going to see what was agreed. Priscilla agrees with Riley, and then really we got to go, guys. Let's have a look, see if it comes up. Let's have a look. Here's how the Riley Q Priscilla legal battle ended. Okay.
Actress Riley Keough, the daughter of Lisa Marie Presley, is set to become the sole trustee of her late mother's estate and the owner of Graceland. The 34-year-old granddaughter of Elvis Presley petitioned the court to approve last month's settlement agreement with her grandmother, Priscilla Presley, and Lisa Marie's ex-husband, Michael Lockwood. Lockwood is the father and guardian of Keogh's half-siblings, 14-year-old twins Finley and Harper. Lockwood and Presley divorced in 2021, but the two were still disputing finances when she died. Disagreements.
So I'm hoping it's going to say what they agreed, because I want you guys to hear the amounts, okay?
Started back in January following the death of 54-year-old Lisa Marie, Elvis Presley's only child. Priscilla filed legal documents disputing who would oversee the estate of Lisa Marie. In May.
So don't forget, we're shocked that she files legal documents against, her own daughter. Come on. The mum dies, it goes to the kids. Come on, it's basic, and it's basic. It's ABC.
Priscilla said the dispute had been resolved. In a statement to USA Today, Priscilla said, "I want to make clear that there was never any lawsuit filed against my beloved granddaughter. As a family, we are pleased that we resolved this together." The settlement named the star of Daisy Jones and the Six the sole trustee of her late mother's estate and her two sisters' subtrusts. Priscilla will serve as trustee for her son and Lisa Marie's half-brother, Navarone Garibaldi. The trust will be split with 1/9 going to Garibaldi and the remaining split evenly between Keogh and her sisters. Keogh also agreed to her grandmother's wish to be buried as close as she can to her late husband, Elvis, at Graceland. Priscilla will be paid a lump sum and reimbursement of legal fees up to $400,000 and will be compensated an undisclosed amount of cash monthly by Keogh. It's not clear just how much Lisa Marie's trust is worth, but it includes ownership of Graceland and a 15% stake in Elvis Presley Enterprises. According to Forbes, Elvis's estate generated $110 million in income in 2022.
Hey.
So guys, I'm going to have to go, but we know she was given $1 million. They paid 400 grand legal fees. They give her 100 grand a year as an advisor, and they agreed for Priscilla to be buried in the meditation garden. Anyway, I'm going to go with with your comments. We may come back and do a part 2 of this tomorrow. This to me is a very serious live. This is very important. I really appreciate people like Cassie and Frederick. You're really helping us, because this is complicated. Yeah, it's way above my head. Yeah, but guys, some serious wrongdoing, in my opinion, for entertainment purposes, from Brigitte Kruse, from Priscilla Presley. Serious stuff. This is serious. I would say this is as serious as it gets. Yeah, I feel so sorry for Lisa, obviously, for Riley, what Riley went through, what the twins have had to go through. It's complicated because the twins will always see Priscilla as the grandmother, so will Riley. It's blood. But guys, this is serious stuff, guys. Anyway, gotta go, because we're gonna have Happy Easter to all of you. We're doing a roast dinner. Happy Easter to all. We're having pork and chicken and vegetables and all the rest of it. I hope you enjoyed this. I appreciate all of your comments. Thank you, all of you. Thank you for your comments, all of you. Thank you for joining in. Cassie, there is a video that we posted, Amy Collett's video, and it says where she gets her documents. Yeah, that video, Cassie, it says where she gets her documents. Thanks, guys. Take care. We're out of here. Happy Easter. Happy Easter. God bless you all. Take care, guys.